Welcome, everyone, to the 57's Flashback, where we discuss the draft and upcoming matchups in Week 1.
Yeah.
So, draft last night. What was the most surprising thing? I mean, excluding that Jordan took Calvin Johnson in round one. That was weird.
How did that happen?
That was so weird.
Yeah. Woo.
Whoa. So, excluding that, what did you think what was the pick that surprised you the most?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm still kind of getting over it. In fact, let me pull up my email, and so I could take a look at it kind of there.
Right.
But I don't know. Bobby picking a defense around 6.
That,
or was it?
Yeah. Come on, Bobby.
Who's the first quarterback off the board?
The first quarterback off the board.
Remember. Was it Breeze? No, it was Rodgers.
It was Aaron Rodgers, round 3, I want to say.
See, here's the thing. I listen to all these different fantasy podcasts. Oh, actually, only one. But, they keep talking about these draft strategies. Don't take a quarterback till round 7. Wait on a defense and kicker. Then you get into a draft with a bunch of people who are experts at it, and everything gets thrown out the window. I never know what to expect, and I always come out a loser. But I was looking over the draft a little bit and looking at the potential matchups. It looks like it came out pretty even. To be honest, most everyone is projected to score in the mid-90s, low 90s, kind of a 10, 15-point spread between everyone. Like me and Taylor, projected me 96, Taylor 98.
Right.
Let me see here. Brad is projected at 93. Jordan is projected at 71, but that may have something to do that
Calvin
he has
Johnson's
a retired player on his roster.
Right. Still kind of sitting there.
95 for you and 84 for Andrew. I still think that's serviceable. That's still close enough. We got Bobby at 97, Bischoff at 90, and 91 for Christian, 80 for Kyle, and he did do his switch ups. As I was driving in, I took a look at his lineup.
He did switch it up.
He was able to switch out the brand new news this morning is that, the Dolphins and the Bucks are not going to play this week.
Right.
Instead, they're going to play Week 11, which was their shared bye week. And so
that worked out fortuitously.
Yeah. And so I was looking at it, and he had 2 players on there, and they already had zeros, which in the past to me has kind of indicated, wait a minute.
They're locked in.
They're locked in. And
right.
so I texted him like, hey, are you able to change this? Is there anything I could do as a league man, as a commish to do that? Luckily, they were able to switch that out.
Able to switch that out.
That would be kind of crappy if they were locked in.
Right, that would suck. ESPN would get a lot of flack for that.
Yes.
But, okay, good. Yeah, when I checked this morning, there were a few people, including Andrew, who has lost Mike Evans for his matchup against me, and I gained Zeke Elliott. So
that was a swing there.
That was a swing. Before that news broke this morning, when I was looking last night, I was only projected to win by 2 points, and now it's 11 points as I look at it. And last night when I looked at it, the home field advantage hadn't been plugged in yet either.
Okay. And there is still the 2-point home field advantage. I like that.
I like it.
Because in real football, home field advantage is a thing.
It really does mean something. I mean, unless you're the Browns.
Unless you're the Browns, in which case any field you play on, yeah.
So I believe this Sunday, as of right now, Ben Roethlisberger is tied for the most wins by any quarterback that the Browns have had at their home field since Big Ben entered the league.
Who's the other one?
I don't know.
Is it a Brown?
It's some Brown quarterback.
It's a Brown? Probably played for 30 years.
So Big Ben has played something like 11 different Browns starting quarterbacks in Cleveland. And this week, he has the chance to have the most wins by any quarterback in Cleveland.
It's probably going to happen.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Browns are a joke. He's their owner. He's their daddy.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Let me see here draft results, but go ahead.
Yeah, I would have to say that the most surprising pick for me in the draft, I mean, yes, 3 quarterbacks went round 3. That's a round earlier than I would have gone, and that's a round earlier than I did go. I took Drew Brees in round 4. So round 3 is one round earlier than I would have gone, which I'm okay with. If you really want that quarterback,
If you really want Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers, then go for it. Whatever.
Aaron Rodgers went to Bobby. Tom Brady went to Bischoff. As I was making this, I realized that we call everyone by their first name except Bischoff.
I said that at the draft party last night.
It's funny.
Yep. And I see you picked Marshawn Lynch at 26, but that's kind of my fault. But I don't feel bad that I picked up Brandon Cooks and Michael Thomas. So
yeah.
But,
I was gonna pick up. I was looking at Brandon Cooks or Michael Thomas. Didn't think that they would get there. Jordan getting Jordy Nelson in round 2. That was easily the steal of the night.
I think so.
I mean, that's
even though this is why auto drafting.
Yeah, that was a guy that I considered taking in the first round. I mean, I was surprised that Antonio Brown fell to me at pick 6. I was expecting to take Jordy Nelson at pick 6, and when Antonio Brown falls to you at pick 6, you take Antonio Brown.
Oh yeah, because let's go pick by pick. I picked David Johnson, number 1 overall, for a couple reasons. He's the consensus number 1 pick, if only by a hair. And also, I have Le'Veon Bell in another league, and so I kind of wanted to hedge my bets there a bit, not put all my eggs in one basket. And then number 3 is Calvin Johnson. Solid pick there, Jordan. And then number 4 is Julio Jones.
Yeah.
And so
Le'Veon Bell did go number 2.
Oh, yeah, did I say that? Yeah, Le'Veon Bell number 2, obviously. And so where it came down was to Andrew at Antonio Brown, Mike Evans. Had he taken Antonio Brown, who would you have gone, Mike Evans or OBJ?
If he had taken Antonio Brown, I probably would have taken Jordy Nelson at that point.
Really?
I like Jordy Nelson catching passes from Aaron Rodgers more than I like Mike Evans catching passes from Jameis Winston. And OBJ is great. I think pick 7 was a great spot for him. He's done great for me in years past. But with that ankle injury that he's got right now, he may or may not play week 1. If he does, he won't be himself. But that is a solid pick for down the stretch, which is the same reason that I took Ezekiel Elliott in round 2, not for the beginning of the season, but
for the end,
hoping that I make it to the playoffs with Ezekiel Elliott on my roster for the playoffs. I mean, starting week 14, Ezekiel Elliott plays the Giants again, and then week 15, he plays the Raiders. Week 16, he plays the Seahawks. So that one will be tough. And then for the finals of our playoffs, he would play the Eagles. I mean, it's not the easiest playoff schedule, but it's Ezekiel Elliott. He'll put up points.
Oh yeah.
And I think the same thing for OBJ. I mean, for week 14, OBJ playing the Cowboys, who have a very weak secondary. For week 15, the Eagles. Week 16, the Cardinals. So that one is tough. The Cardinals have a very good secondary. And then week 17, the Redskins, who have an okay secondary.
Yeah.
So OBJ is a great pick, assuming you make the playoffs.
Yeah. But the thing is you think about going down the stretch.
Right.
But you have to make it to the stretch
Exactly.
first.
You have to make it to the stretch.
The regular season is only 13 weeks long.
Yep.
And it seemed like last year flew by.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, wait, the regular season's
It's
over already?
over?
The fantasy regular season's over already?
Yep.
And then then you got to go down the stretch there.
And so for me, that's why at pick 6, if Antonio Brown and Julio Jones are off so David Johnson, Le'Veon Bell, Julio Jones, Antonio Brown, if I'm trying to choose between OBJ and Jordy Nelson at pick 6, I'm going to take Jordy Nelson.
Yeah.
Because I think he has the stuff to get me to the stretch and then down the stretch. OBJ,
I mean, look what the Packers did last year.
Exactly.
They ran the table in the regular season.
The Packers are always phenomenal at the end of the season.
Yeah. RELAX.
Yep. Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. But the Giants, what are they going to do at the end of the season? And
choke.
Odell Beckham Jr. is always a slow starter in fantasy. For the first 4 weeks or so, he's always in the 20s with wide receiver, finishes somewhere between wide receiver 18 and wide receiver 25, usually. And so that's huge. If I lose 5 games in a row in a 13-week season, it's going to be very hard for me to get into the playoffs.
In fact, I think we had some sort of informal, almost slap bet on that. I told you, because you were thinking about trading OBJ away because he's
right, for
lackluster.
AJ Green.
For AJ Green. And I said, no. Don't count OBJ out.
Yes,
OBJ
that's true.
is going to be phenomenal down the stretch.
That's true.
He's going to end up with more points than AJ Green. I think he ended up with just barely some.
No, AJ Green got injured and was out for the season.
That's true. So
after
that would have
week
been
6. So Bobby didn't take that trade, and I kept OBJ.
Yeah. Thank goodness, though, right?
I know, it worked out for me.
Worked out
for me. Because, let's see, how did that end up? Yeah, Bobby was second to last in the league, and I missed the playoffs by 1 game.
You want to see producing and acting at the same time? So in this ESPN Fantasy Focus podcast we listen to, they've got what's called board bets, and it's just for pride.
Put it on the board!
How about we have slap bets?
I'm okay with that.
Weekly and season long.
I'm okay with that.
In case we ever
Season
disagree.
long slap bets.
Yep.
I'm okay with that. Let's do it.
Produced.
Done.
Okay. So what you got next for us?
All right. Oh, I was going to say, I thought the most surprising pick was Jordan Howard going at pick 10.
Yeah.
Jordan Howard at pick 10 to Christian, I thought, was...
Passing up Shady McCoy and
he
DeMarco Murray.
He passed up on LaShawn McCoy, AJ Green, DeMarco Murray,
Gronk,
Melvin Gordon, Gronk, and Jordy Nelson.
Brandon Cooks, who's going to be the number 1. I believe the number 1 wide receiver in all of fantasy this year.
I think so. Oh, you're gonna say Brandon Cooks?
I say Brandon Cooks is the number 1 wide receiver.
He finishes the season
number 1.
I say Brandon Cooks does not finish the season as number 1.
Slap bet.
We'll
have to.
I will keep track of these.
Yeah. So that's what I. He passed up quite a few here. But you know what? Maybe Jordan Howard, if you really think he's going to end up as RB 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, he's got him in the top 5 of RBs.
Yeah.
He was the 5th running back off the board.
True.
Corzero, you know who I'm talking about. Christian,
yeah.
He thinks he's going to finish ahead of LaShawn McCoy. He's been hit and miss.
Right.
DeMarco Murray. Zeke, I don't see it. Zeke, I still think he's going to be a top 5 running back.
Oh, yeah. I think so.
Melvin Gordon's good. Yeah. So, hey, you do you, Christian. You do you.
And, a lot of drafting is personal preference anyways. Mm-hmm. I mean, who do you think will be the best? That's why you took David Johnson over Le'Veon Bell.
That's not why I picked Adrian Peterson. He was on the board. I couldn't see anyone else I liked, really. And everyone else in the draft room, and there was Bischoff and Andrew and Bobby. I was thinking out loud, and I was like, oh, gosh, do I take him? And they're all pressuring me, do it, Danny. Do it.
And
I was looking. I
would have been sitting there doing the same thing.
So I did it. AP.
Unfortunately for Adrian Peterson, this means you will be injured or suspended again this year. Every time Danny drafts you. So if you were wondering why you've had injuries and why you've been suspended the last several seasons in a row,
it's because
each of those times that happened,
I cursed you.
He drafted you. He's very sorry.
Well, we'll see. I mean, and he's got a new place, New Orleans.
Right. Right.
We'll see. I haven't seen him a lot. I haven't gotten a chance to watch a lot of preseason, but
fun little throw out for the people at home watching. Right as we were sitting down to record this, I got a notification on my phone that the Saints head coach, Sean Payton, said that their new quarterback has the poise you're looking for and that he's very impressed with him. For you BYU fans, the Saints recently acquired Taysom Hill when he was dropped by the Green Bay Packers because the Packers decided to keep, 2 quarterbacks on their roster? That was it?
Was there your other one? I don't know.
Aaron Rodgers and someone else.
And not Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers and not Aaron Rodgers. And so they released Taysom Hill, hoping to sign him to their practice squad, but the Saints said, no, we'll put him on our 53-man roster. And there he is.
So if anything happens to Breeze, is he first man up?
He's currently the third man in a new offense, has to learn the offense. I wouldn't be surprised if within a couple weeks he becomes the number 2 guy.
Yeah.
Once he learns the offense. I mean, as soon as you get signed, you do have to learn the offense. Undrafted free agent, released by another team.
Who's their backup?
It's
one of the brothers who's like he was in one of those like Verizon commercials. It's
Yep.
like, you know, they got backup generators at all these towers, you know, and stuff like that.
Yep,
I wonder if he got a chance, and he actually did pretty good last season when Breeze went down for a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, I can't remember his name for the life of me. Yeah, but good on you, Taysom. Good.
Yeah.
He's not Drew Brees. He's not. He doesn't fit in the mold of. He doesn't fit in the Drew Brees mold. He doesn't have the most powerful arm.
Right.
He's held together with duct tape right now. Still.
Right.
But good on him. Not very much fantasy value there right now. But speaking of fantasy value from BYU, Christian.
Chase Daniel. Chase Daniel is.
Is that him?
Mm-hmm. That's
not the guy I was thinking of. But
that's the backup for Drew Brees. Anyways, continue.
So last night in the draft, I had my computer plugged into my TV so they could see my draft board. But I was thinking about taking at the last round one player, and I unplugged it so that the people in the room couldn't see me. And I was looking, but I couldn't remember his name because I'm stupid. Jamal Williams, BYU, thinking, you know what, he has a chance to come in. I mean, Ty Montgomery is there in
only
Green
a
Bay.
Second-year running back.
And converted from wide receiver.
Right.
I think he's going to be good. I drafted him in our other league.
Right.
But if he goes down, I think Jamal has a chance to break out somewhere, especially in a keeper league. If he breaks out here or next year, be good to have him.
Oh yeah.
But me being an idiot, I plugged in Williams in the wrong box, and then someone got a chance to think, oh yeah, Jamal Williams, but he took him a lot earlier than I was willing to take someone, so whatever, you know.
Oh well.
Yeah. So
there were several of us that were looking at him just because BYU.
Yeah. We are on BYU campus, so why not throw in the QB and running back who became professionals this year.
Right.
So
we have several defensive players who made it, but
yeah,
they don't get you fantasy points.
What's even going on with Bronson? Is he back up and healthy?
As far as I know, yes. Let's take a look. He does play for the Ravens.
I'm Googling him right now, just Bronson Kafusi.
Yep, Bronson Kafusi. He is...
Is he still active?
He's still
looking
active.
Good on BaltimoreRavens.com. Bronson Kafusi looks good after recovering from broken ankle. Let's not spend a lot of time on this because there's not a lot. That was back in April. Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, I'll look for him when the Ravens are playing and stuff.
Right.
So we'll see. We'll see.
He's not on the list for their standard 3-4 defense, but I think they'll be using him in like a nickel defense. So. Oh no, he is the defensive end. He's the backup. Defensive end.
Okay, that's all right.
I wouldn't be surprised
it's his first real year.
Right, I wouldn't be surprised if he does make that leap partway through the season to pass whoever B. Urban is. Brent Urban. So
when you're really involved in fantasy, you don't care too much about defensive
players.
It's just the ones on your favorite team and just a few others. So yeah.
Yep. So that is our rundown of the draft. It
was fun.
It was good. It was interesting. It was easily the most experienced draft that I took part in my 3 leagues.
I'm glad that 90% of the league showed up because they were afraid that they were going to get Tony Romo or Calvin Johnson.
Jordan?
Yeah. So I had people queued up like Michael Vick.
Okay.
And what was it? Tony Romo, a few others. I was considering giving Jordan Kaepernick.
Right, but there is that slight chance that he'll still be signed.
So
if someone goes down, he could be signed, could jump in.
So it's not necessarily quote unquote losing the draft pick. It's just a very poor draft pick,
like Calvin Johnson,
which is basically losing the draft because he's not coming back.
No,
he's not doing it.
No, he retired 2 years ago? Because he didn't play last year.
Yeah, 2 years ago. So I'm pretty sure it's safe to say that Megatron's not going to be back.
Mm-hmm.
So
if he were, he'd pull a Lynch and be back this year.
Yeah. But he's just been radio silent. But whatever. I mean, but I'm glad to see that everyone was there. We'll bring it up to a vote next year, but with the understanding that because it's in the bylaws, whatever that is, right now that you lose it because it was passed.
Mm-hmm.
The vote next year, I want to still bring it up, is to overturn it back to
overturn.
not losing it. So
Right.
like the precedent right now is you will lose your
You
first
will lose
round, you will lose a draft pick next year because we are doing keepers.
Right. How many keepers are we going to do next year?
I'm still thinking 4.
4.
Kind of average it out to 2 keepers each, but I don't like doing 2 keepers each year. Let's just switch it between.
Right.
I like that. We'll of course we'll talk about it. I try to make this more of a democratic.
I like 4.
Yeah.
I like 4.
But we'll still have you losing your first round pick, but we'll bring it up for review.
Right.
It's in a year, but yeah,
We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. So
Based
what do
on
you
what
want
I'm
to talk
looking
about
at
next?
right now, I like who I have as potential keepers. I mean, Antonio Brown, Ezekiel Elliott, Drew Brees.
Well, we'll see.
Right.
You know who I kept last year, and none of them worked out for me? I kept Todd Gurley.
That's true. You did keep Todd Gurley.
He did do really well for me his rookie year, though.
That's true. That's
after
true.
Jenna, who Bobby has now, Bobby's team.
Yes.
Yeah. One of them. Yeah. After she, no.
Bobby took Jaden's team.
Yeah, Bobby took Jaden's team. And then
Kyle
Kyle
Jenna's
came
team.
in and took Jenna's team.
Because Jaden was only there for like 2 weeks,
Uh-huh.
and then Bobby switched in.
Yeah. And so I
I fleeced him for Le'Veon Bell and had him for 2 seasons.
Yeah. So
I seem to have a reputation in this league to present really good trades. Like, it looks really good, and then somehow it ends up working out much better for me than for the person I traded with. And so now people don't like to trade with me. As I was listening
it's your sneaky little ginger.
I was listening to Know Them from Adam, the podcast by Adam Schefter, and he had Matthew Berry and Field Yates on. They're all in a league together, and Matthew Berry and Field Yates said he knows things. He just somehow knows. You trade when Adam Schefter presents a trade, you're like, what does he know that I don't know?
Yeah.
I feel like people think that when I offer a trade, I'm like, I'll trade this guy.
You don't have the clout
What
of
do you-
Schefter, but
No, I don't. But I've done 5 or 6 trades like that where it just has worked out significantly better for me than for the other side. And now Christian last year was like, I'm always wary when you offer me a trade because I feel like you know something that I don't know.
I don't. You can't trust him.
I don't. I'm just
trust
lucky
him.
that way.
Mm-hmm. But you would think that, like, in that league, if you took that trade from Adam Schefter, literally 2 minutes after, he'd be like, such and
this
such
guy
broke
is,
his ankle.
Yeah.
It's like, really?
Really Shefty.